You're thinking about moving, but you're gonna wait until the interest rates go down.
That's not my story.
When Scarlett Johansson recently opened up about her Marvel days, fans couldn't help but perk up. After all, Natasha Romanoff was one of the core Avengers, and her long-awaited solo movie in 2021 gave us something more than just a farewell for her character. It introduced Florence Pugh's Yelena Belova to the MCU in a big way, and now that the dust has settled, the talk naturally shifts to what's next. Because even though Natasha's arc is done, Yelena's journey feels like it's only just getting started. In her interview with Deadline, Johansson wasn't talking about stepping back into the red wig. Instead, she was focused on her future as a director. With her first directorial project, Eleanor the Great, hitting in 2025, she explained how she sees storytelling. For her, even when the backdrop is huge, the heart of a great movie comes from human connectivity. That was what she loved about producing Black Widow, that mix of an intimate family drama unfolding inside a sprawling Marvel adventure. And she made it clear she would absolutely be open to directing a Marvel project if it fits that balance of spectacle and small personal stakes. That statement got fans thinking, because if Johansson does step into the director's chair for Marvel, what better project than Black Widow 2? It would be poetic in a way. Natasha handed the mantle to Yelena in spirit, and now Scarlett could hand off the story from behind the camera. With Florence Pugh already established as a fan favorite and Marvel actively reshaping its roster of heroes, the timing feels perfect. And honestly, the MCU is at a very different place now compared to 2021. Back when the first Black Widow film released, the universe was still riding the wave of the Infinity Saga. Now, after projects like Deadpool and Wolverine, Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness, and the setup for Avengers Doomsday, the franchise is leaning hard into multiversal chaos, political shifts, and younger heroes taking the spotlight. A Black Widow sequel centered on Yelena could give us a grounded, espionage-driven thriller that balances out the cosmic fireworks. Because audiences don't just want multiverse explosions, they want stories that feel human and personal too. What makes Yelena such a strong candidate for a solo sequel is how much room there is to explore her character. In Black Widow, we saw glimpses of her pain, her sarcasm, and her messy but real connection to Natasha. Since then, she's popped up in Hawkeye and is set to appear in Thunderbolts, but those feel like teasers. Fans are ready for a deeper dive. A Black Widow 2 could tackle her stepping fully into the role of an independent hero, one who honors Natasha's legacy while carving out her own identity. The comics back this up in a fascinating way. In the books, Yelena has had arcs where she clashed with Natasha, worked as her replacement, and even infiltrated S.H.I.E.L.D. under shady circumstances. She's complex, sometimes anti-heroic, and often torn between loyalty to her past and forging her own future. That duality would play beautifully on screen. For instance, the It's Always Been Natasha storyline explored Yelena's resentment at living in Natasha's shadow. Translating that into the MCU, we could see Yelena wrestling with how the world sees her. Is she just Natasha's sister, or is she her own Black Widow? That's fertile ground for character development. And then there's the Thunderbolts connection. Yelena is a confirmed part of that team-up movie, but we know Marvel likes to set up solo projects from ensemble appearances. Just as Captain America the Winter Soldier expanded Steve Rogers' role after Avengers, Black Widow 2 could grow out of the events of Thunderbolts. Maybe the film shows Yelena breaking away from the morally gray missions of her team and deciding to step up as a hero in her own right. That would line up with her comic history, where she often struggled between government assignments and her conscience. Now let's talk about something fans absolutely love: costumes. Yelena's MCU look so far has been practical, tactical, and very much rooted in spy aesthetics. But if Marvel really wants to signal that she's stepping into her own mantle, giving her an updated outfit pulled from the comics would be a crowd pleaser. One standout option is her sleek black and white suit from the more modern Black Widow runs. It's distinct enough from Natasha's iconic black catsuit, but still tied to the Widow identity. Fans would eat up a version that blends that comic look with MCU realism, maybe a hybrid of lightweight armor with white accents, evoking her original White Widow appearance in the Red Room flashbacks. Even better, this could be symbolic. The white suit could represent Yelena's break from the shadows, showing that she's not just living in Natasha's image, but creating her own brand. Marvel costume updates have always carried meaning. Think about Steve Rogers' stealth suit in Winter Soldier or Spider-Man's upgraded armor in No Way Home. Giving Yelena a striking new look would visually cement her as the Black Widow for a new era. Another element that fits the current MCU landscape is the political and espionage thriller angle. With the world reeling from multiversal instability and new super teams rising, a Black Widow sequel could serve as the boots-on-the-ground story. Imagine Yelena uncovering a conspiracy involving rogue elements of the government, leftover Hydra tech, or even ties to mutants being introduced into the MCU. The comics have plenty of inspiration here, from Yelena's infiltration missions to her run-ins with characters like Taskmaster, who in the comics is far more menacing than the MCU's version so far. Bringing some of that grittier spy drama back would give Marvel a refreshing change of pace. Scarlett Johansson's involvement as a director could make this even richer. Because she understands the core of what makes these characters resonate, it's not just the action, it's the relationships. Natasha and Yelena's sisterly bond was the emotional anchor for Black Widow, and a sequel could expand on Yelena's found family or her attempts to lead new recruits in the Widow program. Johansson directing Pugh in that kind of story would be both symbolic and powerful. Of course, some might wonder if audiences are truly hungry for a second Black Widow movie, but looking at the buzz around Florence Pugh, it's pretty clear. Pugh has become one of the MCU's breakout stars, with fans praising her charisma, humor, and the depth she brings to Yelena. Social media is full of posts calling for her to get her own film, and Marvel executives have acknowledged how popular she's become. If Marvel is serious about refreshing its lineup and moving forward with younger heroes, giving Pugh a solo spotlight is practically a no-brainer. And it's not like the MCU hasn't revived characters or mantles before. Captain America passed from Steve to Sam Wilson. Thor handed off elements of his story to Jane Foster in Love and Thunder. Even Hawkeye used its series to establish Kate Bishop. Black Widow 2 would simply be another passing of the torch, only this time with a character fans already know and love, stepping into a role she's uniquely suited for. On top of that, Yelena's humor and personality give her a different flavor than Natasha. Where Natasha was calm, strategic, and sometimes haunted, Yelena is snarky, blunt, and refreshingly modern. That contrast is exactly what keeps the mantle from feeling recycled. It makes Black Widow 2 not just a sequel, but the start of a new chapter. Well, that's it. For now, make sure that you like our video. Please share your views and opinions in the comments section with us. Subscribe to the channel to get updated regularly with the latest news and reviews on upcoming movies from us. And do not forget to hit the bell icon to never miss an update. Thanks for watching the video, and we'll see you at the next one.